If Donald Trump oversees the upcoming midterms this year, he may be able to rig the upcoming midterms this year. That's the Democrat nightmare scenario, after hearing Trump say this in the Oval Office.
Mr. President, thank you for taking our questions. What exactly did you mean when you said that you should nationalize elections, and which 15 states are you talking about?
I want to see elections be honest, and if a state can't run an election, I think the people behind me should do something about it.
This has been Trump's big gripe since forever, that he only lost the 2020 election because Joe Biden cheated to win. So he wants more control over the next one so that he can run them fairly.
I don't know why the federal government doesn't do them anyway. If they can't count the votes legally and honestly, then somebody else should take over.
When Trump last had this thought,
these people were brought to our country to vote, and they vote illegally. We should take over the voting in at least 15 places. The Republicans ought to nationalize the voting.
The left and legal experts, honestly, were quick to point out that this, at face value, a takeover, would go against hundreds of years of American history because the Constitution forbids this kind of power grab. It's very clear. The times, places, and manner of holding elections shall be up to state legislatures. That's a bedrock check on federal power that Trump seems to want to do away with, except Trump's press secretary has tried to turn some of that temperature down.
What does President Trump mean when he says Republicans ought to nationalize voting? What does that look like in practice?
What the president was referring to is the SAVE Act, which is a huge common sense piece of legislation.
Now, without getting too weedy here, what she says Trump was talking about is this very specific legislation that requires people to prove that they're US citizens before they vote. Is that really what Trump was saying, though? When Trump talks about a federal takeover of elections, nationalizing them, and specifically in states where he suspects the system has badly cheated him, does it sound like he's talking about the SAVE Act? I'm not in Trump's head, but I'm just explaining why Trump's comments have raised an alarm, especially on the left. And it surely doesn't ease their concerns when they have such a hard time getting a straight answer to the question, what does Trump mean?
To be clear, he does believe the state should oversee elections.
The president believes in the United States Constitution. However, he believes there has obviously been a lot of fraud and irregularities that have taken place in American elections. And again, voter ID is a highly popular and common sense policy that the president wants to pursue.
So the hardest question of all, who to believe, Trump or his team?